Hi to everyone. In this video, I am just going to discuss about an algorithm as how to insert an element into queue. You know very well about queue. Insertion will take place at the rear end and deletion will take place at the front end. Okay. So based on these two ends, front and rear only, we are going to do the insertion and deletion operations. So here I have defined one function as q insert in which I am passing the arguments q. Q it's nothing but the name of an array. Here I am just going to implement the concept q with the help of an array only. Okay, so q it's nothing but an array and n is the maximum size of the q here, and front is the variable which is pointing to the front end, and here is the variable used to point the rear end, and item is the element to be inserted into the queue. So whenever if we are going to do the insertion operation means at first we should check whether there is an empty space to insert an element into the queue. So what's the condition? At first we have to check it there is whether the queue is already filled or not. Just for an example, I am saying the maximum size of the maximum size of the queue here I have taken it as 5. So I am just drawing the queue structure here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. So the indices for this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the maximum size of my queue is 5. Just have an assumption all these spaces are filled with data. For example, in this first cell I am having the person A, and in second place B is standing, then C, then D and E is standing there. Here the maximum size of the queue is 5 only. So as per this diagram, all the 5 spaces are occupied. So this position is the front and this one is the rear. So front is equal to 1, rear is equal to 5. In case if I am just wish to push one more element F into the queue means there is no space here. So by that time overflow will occur because there is no space in this queue to insert the element F. So what I am just going to do it here is I am just going to prompt the user as overflow. So in order to check whether the queue has been filled entirely or not, I can check for the condition if front equal to 1 and rear is equal to n. Yeah, what do you mean by n? N is a variable which is used to hold the maximum size of the queue. That's why here I am checking if front is equal to 1 and rear is equal to n, then I can prompt the user as overflow. Once the overflow happens means there is no need to continue the rest of the process. So I should return my program control. That's why here I have written return. An x1 condition, what's an x1 condition is, whenever if we just have an assumption as, I am just going to have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just having the one element the other end. For example, D. I'm having D alone here. So here front equal to 5 and rear is also equal to 5. So you just consider here, if I am just going to pop out, if I am going to delete this D from this Q means, whenever a deletion is happening in Q means front will be incremented by 1. So in such a case you will have front is equal to front plus 1 means you will have 6. So, if it is a 6 means it is pointing to the other locations which is not at all up to the size of the Q. Because the size of the Q is 5 only. So, if front is equal to rear plus 1 means by the time also we should prompt the user as overflow. That's why here I have written the condition as if front is equal to 1 and rear is equal to n. This is the one condition. Or if front equal to rear plus 1, then overflow will occur. Once overflow occurred means there is no necessity to execute the rest of the statements. That's why we have returned the program control. Okay. In case if the queue is not at all filled means by the time what we are going to do. Okay. So just for an example I am saying you can take that same n is equal to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spaces, 5 cells are there. We just consider here. Here the queue is empty. But here I am checking for the condition. If front equal to null. If front is equal to null, then front colon equal to 1 and rear colon equal to 1. Why I am going to set these things? Actually, once if you are taking the second step, these are all included under the second step. So this second step is used to find the new value of rear. Okay. So first what we are going to check the condition here is whether front is equal to null. Why I am going to check the condition front is equal to null here means because if the queue is empty means there will be no element in the queue. So by the time there is no necessity to check for the rear end. If there is an element, there must be the some value for the variable front, because front is the variable which is used to point to the first person in the queue. That's why if front is equal to null means then we should say front colon equal to 1 and rear colon equal to 1. Because we are just incrementing we are just setting the position for the front and rear is equal to 1 because this is the first element to be inserted into the queue. That's why here we are setting front colon equal to 1 and rear colon equal to 1. In case, just for an example I am saying, if the last space is filled with D. In such a case, front is equal to 5 as well as rear is also equal to this same location 5. So what's happening here is, if rear, else if rear equal to n means, then we should set rear equal to 1. Why I am just going to set rear colon equal to 1 here is, you just consider here, in this queue only the last element, last cell alone is having the element data D. But the spaces which is present before to it is empty only. So if I'm trying to insert one more element into the queue means, I'm not supposed to prompt the user as overflow since the rear reaches n, because there is empty space here. You just consider this one. If there is a space, I couldn't conclude that condition as an overflow. When the overflow will occur, when all the spaces are occupied by the element means, then I can conclude that condition as overflow. But here, there are many spaces here. But the last space is occupied by the element and the rest of the spaces are empty. So by this time, I couldn't conclude this as overflow. And at the same time, I couldn't insert a new element in the next position. That means I couldn't insert the element in the 6th position because the maximum size of my queue is 5. So what I am just going to do it here is, I am just going to reset the value of rear as 1. So it means I am just going to insert that new element here. So what it will happen here is, front will be equal to 5 and rear is equal to 1. So here in this statements, we are just going to set the values for rear only. So in the first condition, we are just checking whether the value of a front is equal to null. If it is equal to null means we are just setting front equal to 1 and rear is equal to 1. Else if rear is equal to n, that means if the rear end is equal to n means by that time we are just going to reset the value of rear as rear is equal to 1. That's why here we have written as, else if rear equal to n, then we are setting rear colon equal to 1. You may ask me one doubt as, we are just checking for the condition rear is equal to n. Why we are not at all checking for the condition front? Because the reason for that one is, already we have checked the condition. Front, whether the value of front is equal to null or not. Your program control will comes to this place only when the front value is not at all equal to null. Okay. So that's why there is no necessity to check for the value of front end. So it's enough to check for the rear end alone. That's why here we are checking. Else if rear is equal to n, then we are resetting rear colon equal to 1. And next one possibility, you may have, the next one possibility is, you may have the data in between. For example, A, B, C. So now the front is equal to 1 and rear is equal to 3. Okay. So in such a case, if a programmer wishes to insert an element into the queue means, what it would happen here, we are just going to insert an element into this location 4. So what's the value of the year currently? Currently 3, but after inserting a new element, it will be 4. It means real colon equal to real plus 1. So whenever if we are going to write an algorithm, we should consider for all the possibilities. That's why here we have checked for the 3 things. One is we are checking whether the front is equal to null. If it is equal to null, we are just setting front and rear is equal to 1. Else if rear is equal to n means by that time we are setting rear colon equal to 1. If both these conditions are failed means automatically your program control comes to this line where you are just going to increment your rear end and you are going to insert an element into the locations. Okay. So after doing these things, you have set the value of rear. Just for example, here I am saying now the rear is equal to 4. Okay, the previous value is 3. Now since we have executed this statement, we are just having rear is equal to 4. So now the rear end is changed to 4, but we should push that item into that locations. How can we proceed? How can we insert a new element in this location? The direct assignment, right? So that's why here I am setting set q of rear colon equal to item. It means for whatever the data that you wish to insert into the queue. Just for example, if it is a D means D will get stored here by means of the statement q of rear colon equal to item. So D which will get stored in q of 4. So now the insertion is over. So you can return your program control. So this is the logic for inserting an element into your queue. Once again I am saying whenever if you are going to insert an element into the queue means at first you should check for the condition whether the queue is entirely filled or not. Once if it is filled, we should prompt the user as overflow. If not, we should check for the condition whether the front is equal to null. If it is equal to null, you can have an assumption as easily you can understand as queue is empty. So the item to be inserted into the queue will be the first element. In case if your queue is having the element in the place of n means then you can check for the condition. Else if rear equal to n, then you can reset that one. So rear colon equal to 1. Else you can set rear colon equal to rear plus 1. So after setting the value for the year, you can assign the item to that location. That's why here we have written set q of rear colon equal to item. But notice one thing, here we are just making use of the index rear as an index for your queue. The reason here is insertion will take place at the rear end only. In case if you are going to delete an item from the queue means by that time you can pass front to the queue as an index. But here we are doing the insertion operations. That's why here we are considering about the rear. That's all. I think every one of you have understood the concepts clearly. In case if you are having any doubt, kindly post me your queries. Okay, thank you.